Hi, I here. This is a reading for the sign of Aquarius. We're going to pull 2 cards from the Thoth deck, and that's going to represent the energy that is currently surrounding you. What we see on the bottom of the Thoth deck is going to represent your general energy. We're then going to pull 9 cards from the Huge Tarot deck, and we're going to turn those over little by little to see what message or story unfolds. What we see on the bottom of that deck is going to represent the general theme of this reading. Then, once we get a sense of the messages that are supposed to come through, we are going to pull 1 card from the Shadow deck to see what is in your unconscious energy. And then, what is on the bottom of that deck is going to represent what you don't see coming. So let's just see what happens. Okay, so let us tap into the energy of the sign of Aquarius. So if that is your sun, your moon, your rising sign, however you are currently identifying with the energy of the sign of Aquarius, you can use that as a way to help you understand or interpret the messages that are coming through today. And if they don't fit, that's okay. You can always take what fits, leave what doesn't, never try to force anything. And you can always check your other placements, or you can just stick around and see what's going on in the world of other Aquarians today. So let us see what messages come through today for the sign of Aquarius. What things can we think about? What things do we need to be made aware of? What can we meditate upon? What messages need to come through today for the sign of Aquarius? Okay, so we're going to pull, as I said, 2 cards from this deck, and that's going to represent what is going on around you. And the underside of this deck is going to represent your general energy. Okay, so let's see what we get. It feels pretty good. All right, so we've got 1, 2, and your energy is defeat, 5. Not the most positive start. Okay. So something painful has definitely come into your life, and it is some level of frustration, something you were hoping was going to occur, did not come to pass, or perhaps you tried to accomplish something and it fell short of your expectations. It doesn't have to be a terrible thing. I mean, we can learn from the things that we are defeated in. We can learn from our mistakes. But let's get a sense of the context in which this defeat is manifesting in our life and see if we can get a little understanding of what we can do about it. Stress, overly burdened by obligations, and sitting and thinking and reflecting upon what life is presenting you, how to move forward, and maybe taking a moment of sacrificing yourself to sort of get perspective on what is going on around you. I mean, not necessarily sacrificing yourself, but taking some amount of time to reflect. Maybe not time that's not maybe not the thing you want to be doing with your time, but taking a time out and looking at things from a different perspective. There's usually a little bit of a sign of some kind of self-sacrifice here to make sense, or to make sense of what's going on, or in the service of others. With the 10 of Wands over here, I think you're really stressed out. I think you're really burdened by something really heavy. You're trying to make sense of it. You're trying to figure out how to recover from whatever is putting this weight on you, this defeat that you're trying to overcome. So this is the card here, the 10 of Wands, of the conclusion of the suit of Wands. So this is some level of completion, but with that completion comes a certain amount of burden that has to be carried. And I think you are reflecting upon taking on this burden and maybe deciding whether or not to keep doing so, or gain some perspective on what makes it worth doing this in the first place. But I think you're feeling very defeated right now. I think you got a lot on your plate. You're trying to make sense of all the things on your plate, and trying to understand, should you keep carrying these burdens, or perhaps should you let them go and move on to something else? So a little bit of a rough start. Let's see what the Huge Tarot deck has to say. So we're going to get 9 cards from this deck, and that's going to give us a sense of the story that is unfolding here. Whatever you're going through, very sorry for it. It feels heavy. It feels painful. Um, hopefully there's a little bit more positivity or some solutions that'll come out in what is ahead. Okay, so we'll pull 9 cards from this deck to see what is going on. So what can we get to understand this situation a little bit better? What's going on here? One more good shuffle. Okay, so let us get some idea here. What do we got going on here? Okay, that feels good. Okay, so 9 cards. Okay, and the theme is the Page of Swords. Yeah, so I think you are going through a situation where people are putting a lot on you, and you're trying to figure out whether or not this is the place you want to stay. You're trying to figure out what it is that you need to do. You need to figure out what is the right place for you to be. You need to carve out a slice of the world that's going to be the right thing for you to be standing in and working with. And you're trying to look at things from all directions to figure out, am I on the right path? What new path do I need to go on? And how am I going to keep carrying all this weight that's being put on me? Because if you keep up with this weight and just stay the course, this defeat is probably only going to get worse if it hasn't already happened. So with the Page of Swords here, this is you trying to figure things out and just try to get perspective on the environment in which you were sort of habitating in. So let's get a read for this story. Yeah, so you're taking a timeout for sure. With the Hangman and the Four of Swords, you're sitting here trying to reevaluate things. You have either just experienced this defeat or you know that it's looming on the distance and it's something heavy that you're trying to take a little bit of rest to recover and understand exactly what this is for you and what it's going to mean for you. So let's see what that rest maybe brings to the table. Okay, though that's good. The Nine of Wands, I mean, that's not a card of things that are easy, but that's a card of the last leg of a struggle. So I think you are probably already going through a rough time right now. But you're staying strong. You're holding through. That's probably because of or why you need this Four of Swords mental rest to recover from the battles you've been going through. And things have been tough. But you're not going through it alone. You know, with the Three of Cups, that's celebration. That's having friends and family around you to help get you through whatever this battle is that you're fighting with the Nine of Wands. And, you know, it's like you're in the arena. You got to fight the battles on an individual level when the fight is going on. But, you know, in between rounds, you've got a good support system. And you're taking time for yourself to really sit and think about, like, how do I carry all of this? This is heavy, so how do I deal with all this? So let's see where it goes from there. Yeah, you're staying strong, but your heart's not in it. You are taking on all of this heavy weight that's being presented to you, but you're not really feeling the emotional resonance with it. You're doing it because you have to do it, not because you want to do it. And again, I see why you need that Four of Swords and Hangman period of taking a step out and just like detaching yourself from the situation to gain some sense of control or perspective. And I think you are reflecting very deeply when you're in these restful periods. You're not just sitting around, you know, turning your brain off. You're really tapping into your not just your active thoughts, but you're trying to reconnect with something that feels right. Because what you're currently doing is making you feel this energy. You're carrying all these heavy weights on your shoulders. Your heart's not in it. You're just going through it to get it done. So when you're taking these restful periods, this isn't just I'm going to sit and loaf around. The Hanged Man is really going through a meditative process when he's resting. He is sitting there quietly, but he is very active in his internal world. So you're sitting in this Four of Swords, Hangman energy of stepping out of the physical situation, perhaps in your alone time, and you're trying to tap into your intuitive side to get a sense of, am I on the right path? How does this all fit into the bigger picture? Because the current environment you're in feels very stressful. You're not enjoying it. It's very hard, but you're doing it anyways because you know it's what you have to do. And you want to know, how do I figure out what's the right path for me now? Where do I keep doing this? I think you know that this can't keep going, so you have to figure out, well, how do we then resolve this? And you're looking for answers, and you're looking inward for those answers to figure out how you feel and what it is that you really want. And that's a good way to approach it. I just hope it doesn't stay internal. You need to bring that outside, or maybe even discuss it with other people. But I think it's productive as you're sitting around thinking. The Ace of Swords is clarity of thought. So when you're doing all of this mental work in your alone time, the picture is starting to become a little bit more clear to you. Taking this time out to be the hanged man and to rest in your quiet mental place, whatever that is for you, you're listening for the whispers of the high priestess to give you some guidance. And as those answers come to you, which they never really come to you directly linguistically. It's not like a voice says, this is what you should do now. This is what's going to happen. No, the high priestess speaks silently by giving you a feeling of what it is that you need to be doing. Intuitively, sending you the messages of how to resolve whatever you're trying to resolve. And as those messages are coming through to you, they're slowly starting to help you collect your mind together and get the clarity of this single sword so that you know the direction that you need to be putting your energy into going forward. And so that, I think, is where we start to begin moving from just taking the weight and dealing with things as they're presented to you and start moving into a Page of Swords place where now you're getting a sense of the idea of how to move forward, and trying to now figure out, how do I start to carve these ideas into the world. I know a little bit better now what I need to do, but not how to do it. So the Page of Swords is taking the first steps of carving the world and the way you see the world in a vision that aligns with what it is that you need to accomplish, or what you feel is the correct direction to be moving in. So we're moving in a good direction. We're moving away from just dealing with it and moving on. Yep, you're going to put the time in. You're going to put the work in, the effort in. This is the card of patiently going through the details of doing things right so we can move into creating something better for ourselves. And with the Seven of Wands, yeah, you know you're on the right track. Yeah, so you've been in this position, or you were and are about to move out of this position of feeling a sort of helplessness where you're just getting through it. You're doing the work, you're putting in the time, you're getting to from point A to point B. You've got a support system, so you're not like alone through all of this, but you were feeling stiff. You're looking for answers. You're starting to find those answers. The clarity is starting to come through as you take this time out to rest and meditate upon things. You're putting in the effort to start to actually really work through the finer details of making things better for yourself. And with the Seven of Wands, you know that this is the right track to be on, and you are going to be able to achieve something great because you're doing the work that needs to be done to make a recovery from whatever this Five of Swords was that really hit you hard. So this is good. This is good. We're moving in a good direction. Ooh, but the devil, there's still doubt. There's still self-doubt. I don't think this is like an actual toxic person in your environment so much as this is the self-sabotage that comes from, you know what the thing is that you need to do. You know what you need to accomplish. You know how to get through. You have the clarity of thought. The answers are being slowly given to you, and you know you've got the high ground in this situation to be able to accomplish what you need to accomplish. But there's still a little voice in you that says, I don't know, maybe this is all wrong. Maybe I'm doing the wrong things. Maybe I'm just looking at it wrong, and I can get through this, and things will get better if I just stick to it. And no, you need to move forward. Whatever insights you're getting as you're taking this time to think about what needs to happen, what needs to be changed, Put the time in to make things better. Don't wallow in this negativity that's going to keep you chained to this whatever this negative situation was. So the devil is just this hurdle that you have to get through, where it's it's not so much a corruptive force that I'm getting. I'm seeing this as a final hurdle. This is sort of the Nine of Wands sort of representing itself, where the difficulty is still weighing on you at the very final last stage as you're getting ready to get away from it. And at that final stage where you can finally leave this behind and move on to something better, there's that final step you have to make where it's like, well, maybe not. I did all this work, but maybe it's not so bad. Don't listen to that. Move forward in a positive direction. If something feels wrong, trust your intuition that it's not right for you. You know that you're feeling kind of stale in this situation. It's not serving you emotionally, so figure out what it is you need to do to move forward in a positive way. You've got all these burdens being put on you, and you know that they're not serving you, so take stock of the things that really are important and leave behind the things that are not serving you, and don't listen to that negative voice that's telling you to just stay still and just deal with it. Grow from the things that are making you feel this sense of defeat. Don't wallow in it. Rise above it. Carve out a better place for yourself. Rise from the Page of Swords to the next stage of being the prince or the knight for this suit here, for this version of the deck, right? Rise above being the page and move into the energy of being the knight, and inevitably the queen, and then the king, and then be able to get the clarity of thought, or perhaps take that clarity of thought and wield that insight as a weapon to help you move into better places with whatever it is you're struggling with. It can get better, it can be better. Don't listen to the devil. Fight back with the power and strength of the insights that you are having. You know that what you are doing is moving you in the right direction. Don't let deceit, self-deception hold you back from being able to get to a better place here. So let's see what's going on with the Shadow deck. I think this is going to be a very important card for the rest of this reading. All right. So what is going on in your head? What's in your subconscious energy? What's motivating you in your deepest thoughts? Maybe a sense of what it is that the devil is trying to tempt you with to keep you from moving away from this defeat and moving into a new positive beginning. Okay, we're just going to pull one card, so let's do a little bit more of a shuffle. Okay, so in your subconscious energy, what's kicking around in the back of your thoughts and feelings is the Six of Spheres. Interesting. So the Six of Spheres is sort of getting some sort of recalibration or balance in the physical world. Maybe a help from someone who is in a better situation than yourself. But it's a card of success. It is a card of positive growth in your physical realm. But again, likely from assistance externally to help you rise above the difficulty of perhaps one of the things that's leading all of this burden that you have to carry is some kind of financial situation or resource-based thing where it is a difficulty that you have to overcome, and that's why you feel like you have to do what you have to do to, in order to get things accomplished, so that you've got what you need to be able to just live and thrive and move forward with things. But again, you've got a clear insight on something that can help you rise above this to a better place. And maybe that insight is a bit of divine inspiration on a sort of future endeavor, a successful thing you can put your time and energy into to help you rise above the difficult situation you're in right now. So maybe what's in your subconscious energy is this beginning of an idea of a better financial or wealth based or just environment, some kind of better situation that's going to allow your day to day life be a little bit more positive, by moving in the right direction, by putting in the time and places that are going to be places of positive growth, getting away from this toxic devil energy. And again, I think there's something external about this. Maybe not external as in another person bringing it to you, but I'm getting the vibe that maybe the insights that the high priestess has given you, the clarity of thought, is a idea of how to move into a better direction in the physical way, that you make your money or live your life, that is going to be better, but it's going to be work. And again, the devil is tempting you with the easy way out of just stay where you're at and be comfortable. And what you don't see coming is the Knight of Cups. So maybe it is something that is more external than I'm giving credit for, but what you don't see coming is some sort of offer is going to be brought to you, that is going to be something that emotionally resonates with you. So see, right underneath this card, we had the Four of Cups, where something does not feel like it really emotionally attaches to you in a way that is fulfilling. But there is something or someone that is coming from the outside that's going to present to you something that will allow you to feel more emotionally fulfilled than whatever it is you're dealing with. And I think that might be something that, because you don't expect it, that's why you're giving in to this devil energy that's holding you back and saying stay where you're comfortable. But something's going to come that's going to help sort of maybe kick things into a better place. And that's what I'm getting with the Knight of Cups here. And on some level, even if you don't see it coming, there's something kicking around in your mind that's allowing you to get a sense that something better in the physical realm is on its way. You've got some sort of unarticulated insight or intuition that things are going to get better, and I think that's what's motivating you to kick into this work mode to get away from the Five of Swords energy. Now, don't fall into this work mode of I'm going to work because it's what I got to do just to get the job done. Make sure that when you're doing this Eight of Pentacles work, that you're doing the important details, not the frivolous details. The Ten of Wands, is the tedious burdens that you have to carry. But here, the Eight of Pentacles is taking the time to do well the things that really matter, so that way you can build things of quality in your life rather than just doing things for the sake of doing things. So, interesting reading. Definitely a lot of ups and downs here. Definitely feel like you're at a stressful place. So I hope with whatever you're going through, I hope it does get better and you're able to manage it. But I hope this was helpful. I hope this gave you some insights or some reassurance, to move in whatever positive direction you need to be moving in. Or at the very least, maybe this was just an enjoyable experience for you to sit here and go through this with me. And as always, if there are other messages that are coming through these cards above what I am saying with my own interpretation, if you have knowledge of tarot, or just if these cards are speaking to you in some way, let your intuition bring those messages to the forefront and give you some things to think about. And again, if this message, none of this, if most of or none of this really resonated with you, that's fine. Just you can check your other placements, or just take it for what it is. Maybe you can come back and watch it later, and maybe it'll make more sense then. But this is the message that was coming through to me, and again, I hope this was helpful for you. And yeah, that's really all I have for you today. So please like the video, subscribe if you haven't, leave a comment if you have anything to share or anything you want to talk about related to this, or really anything else. And if you know other people who might enjoy this or any other of my videos, please share those as you see fit. And yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day.